Hello, happy solstice. It is Wednesday, so I'm here to bring you a little bit of outdoors. Let's get into it. All right, so this is last week. Um, it's been another one of those weeks where we have a lot of change, so this video isn't going to be a great descriptor, but just a little refresher on how things looked just last week. We are set to get one of the biggest storms of ever. It's supposed to be 70-mile-an-hour winds and just ridiculous amounts of snow, and that's going to be fun. So here we are. I found the hat today and got that rigged up so it should sit nicer. It did pop off a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I still hunting season, still end of December stuff. It's a pain. At this point, the creek is still running, so there is that. But it's the solstice. It is the shortest day of the year, and that is the origins for Christmas. There's a lot of good symbology. So from there's a lot of depression when the days are getting shorter up until this point. Now the days are going to start getting longer. We'll have more sun. We'll be able to get more vitamin D. It'll be less depressing. So yeah, it's an exciting time. But so sometime between this week and last week, this washed away. So I had to find this at some point. That'll be fun. Because hopefully it's just right where it got stuck last time. But no promises. Little waterfall still running good. Yeah. Doing good. Yeah. I had this strangest dream, and I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, but it like a modded Minecraft. So Minecraft, I think it's Rad 2. That's been fun. I might stream it. Unsure. It's it's so hard with like Minecraft, especially when it's ultra modded like that and a giant mod pack. And if you're unfamiliar with most of the mod packs, you can look really silly and not really understand like what you're supposed to be doing or anything like that. And life's a lot like that. There are a whole lot of systems that we don't really engage with. And spirituality has become that for a lot of people in my generation. Um, but there is a positive aspect to connecting with nature and being very aware of it and finding the joy in being outside and doing things with the turning of the seasons. It's there's this something primal in our body that gets uh, serotonin or dopamine. I forget which one is the triggered one, but it's it really hits those things to engage with different nature things. So I absolutely go out of my way to break some ice whenever possible and like make fire, enjoy the woods. A friend came by a while back, and it was so good to see them just enjoy that little happy boost when you can break a stick and it like makes a good snapping noise, and being able to swing an axe and really like lay into something with no fear of repercussions or any kind of personal damage. And it's something that people don't get to do enough in regular modern life. There's not really good engagement for physical activity unless you like have a gym membership or whatever, or a heavy bag. There's and even then there's some physical repercussions to your knuckles or whatever if you don't tape or protect them in some way. So it's tricky, but it's important to, engage with your feelings and be able to get them out. So I hope more people can figure out different aspects of engaging like that. Because it's important. And it sucks. And I know I had a really hard depressive week this week. I'm into a better state now. Things are getting a little bit better. It's hard to really get out of these points and force yourself to do self-care and be active and really work with what you have towards a better future, even if it's meaningless. Like, the nihilistic aspect of it is not, it's not always something to ignore, but sometimes it's something to revel in, like being in, like, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a lot of situations where you set up your board and there might be a time where you make a mistake or you get interrupted at just the wrong spot. And it's just like, well, now I have nothing. And a lot of people just quit at that point. And it makes sense. You're saving time, you're saving self-effort to like go through the motions. But that might happen on the other side too. Like, there is some merit to playing it out. You might still have a chance, but given the harshness of life and Yu-Gi-Oh, it's unlikely. So you're more likely to get eaten alive. But there is a glimmer of hope. As long as you have that, you can at least try to push forward. So I guess the concept is to be good to yourself. I saw a deer at that point, which is why I stopped and turned back. I try not to disturb wildlife. I try to make their little paths better. So it helps with the mentals because at that time I know I'm helping something. Even if it's a wild animal, there's, someone to care for, someone to engage with, even if like in ways that aren't necessarily direct. I don't know. It's hard to find meaning in life, and it's hard to have goals and things that are reasonable, especially when we're going through a raging pandemic and people seem to just continue on as if nothing changed. So, and it's not necessarily their fault. A lot of people did stay in and did the quarantine and shelter in place when it was stated, when it was the norm to do so. But the second they like stopped the rent freezes and they stopped uh, giving people money to do so, they have to go back to work because everything costs money. And we could make things cheaper, and we could make the big corporations pay more taxes and things, but we don't. And it's unfortunate because that makes the most sense that you take money from the people who are making the most. That money hardly affects their bottom line. However, that money proportionally to the average person who's living week to week. And to be fair, all of those big corporations get bailed out if they fail anyway, so it's not like they're at risk. So it's rough having the intelligence to see what's been going on. Oh, I moved this tree. That's gone now. I had to get my axe back here and really work on that. That was a good day. I was happy to get out some of this aggression towards a system that I can't control. Really good to help with the radical acceptance. It's really weird though. I walked away after therapy this week and I was really just even in a worse place than normal because I was just kind of like directly engaging with all of the things that were making me depressed. So, and it's been snowing and it's just like, it's always rough to go out when it's snowing, when it's rough, or when everything's flooding as it has been. So it'll be nice when hunting season's over and I can just go back to doing whatever, whenever. Engaging in a system where you feel trapped is always depressing, I'm going to say. Like, you need the shitty job to have the house, to live, to eat, to pay for the car, different things. So, and a lot of people find joy in little foods and things to like, they feel special. They feel like it's a way to engage, especially with other people, especially if you do that sort of thing. That's why bars and everything work out, pizza parties, all that jazz. Different sporting event doodads where, cookouts and things. So it's especially hard being a diabetic to not be able to engage with those things. Like, after a hard breakup, I always used to have cookie dough, just like straight from the tube. Just like pure depression. And it's a shame that I can't do that anymore because I actually, am trying to care about my health. So, just one more thing where it's like so hard when everything feels taken away. When you have to deny people, like when they make us something at a party or whatever, and you can't compliment them on how good it turned out, or, just even try it, have that little sugar boost. But I'm also like off caffeine and everything for the most part. So not having an additional stimulant is tricky, and it's just one of those situations where like I've limited myself. That's a chainsaw. Don't worry about that. And I feel like I stopped last time because it's just like minorly annoying to have the chainsaw in the background. But still get to see the creek and the wee waterfall. Yeah, I think I was just done here. Anyway, quick little BRB. Get the other one set up. And we are back. As you can see, it snowed a bit. I tried to get my hat situation set up a little better. Um, yeah, we're Winter Wonderland now. It's unfortunate, but you can see all of the different tracks of the animals really well. Like being a tracker back in the olden times during winter is probably one of the only reasons you could exist in a space where it snows. 'Cause good lord, staying warm is rough. Yeah, any tracks you see this way are animal because I didn't pre go out at all since it snowed because it's cold, not a wanna. Depression obviously doesn't help, but you know, whatever. So, my little bridge is working out really well. Something's using it. I think probably the cat we have, Mao. Um, Bunnies and different little things also work out. It's nice. uh, yeah. So, getting out on the solstice is nice. It's nearly midday here, so truly like enjoying the day, the night. It's the shortest day of the year, so enjoying the sunlight on it feels really good. Making the most of the time you have, kind of a metaphor. So I feel like it was last year I was able to like follow the tracks of a deer being chased by a coyote, and that was really wild. Tracking is so interesting and fun. Like you have a perfect like reference point. It's almost too easy in the snow to just like follow the tracks because you can kind of just see where they go. And like I said, this flowed somewhere, so I have to go find that eventually. But today is not that day. So I just jump it. You know, it's a weird thing that like in a lot of games, like jumping is such a key component of gaming. So that when you go back into real life, you don't think about jumping at all, ever. Like modern life has really just eliminated jumping. And that's good, especially for people who can't, physically challenged. Uh, Wheelchairs aren't going to have a good time if there's any kind of jumping. But um, all the same, I feel like it's a aspect of life we don't really engage with. And when we're kids, we run, we jump, we play, and like we tumble a lot more. Uh, it's just one of those situations where like that's probably more correct, and it's probably how we should conduct ourselves for a better body and everything. But we don't. So it's good to play. It's good to have those little moments of like, let's make the snow fall. Let's break the ice. Let's like, there's just something so pure about it. So I absolutely take a moment right here where I see the ice has formed. Is it right here? It might be next one up. Yeah. Walking along like poles and things. Like there's a childlike wonder that we lose as we grow up because we think of things as childish, and really that's the only reason we don't do them. So I see the opportunity. There's Frozen Creek, there's Stick. Let's go for it. Yeah. Yeah. So kind of see it is frozen and stabs right through. Boop. Boop. I was kind of hoping it would break, but a stab is good enough. We'll leave the stick there for next time if I want to do more stabby stab. Uh, it's also weird being in LARP and then like not engaging with it for a long time as winter breaks go. Oh, also, this is actually quite interesting. Something sleeps there. They hit the back tree there and knock off some dirt so they have a nicer little sleeping space. So that's really cool, and I appreciate that I found that. More treks. They like this path. I'm gonna go around. That pile of sticks I still need to move at some point. Oh, that is a project that I still need to engage with, moving all of the sticks from these paths out, which I'll probably do next time it drops, all the snow and everything, or just gets generally warm. For now, it's just like upkeep on the things that fall in the pathway. Like, because there's just so much. So weird to engage with. But animals are using the path. There's also stuff over there. And all over here. It's everywhere. They're just all over this spot. It's great. The other night I saw a bunny just come up to my little rose bush outside my window and start gnawing on it. And I feel like a lot of people would be more upset by that. But I don't know. I feel like it's nice to see animals in nature doing nature things. I toss my onion and carrot and celery and things, but so they have something to eat. It's nice, like, to see the animals. So like it's a win-win. They get some food, and I get some little bits of pleasure from just seeing them. Also, like, I moved that grapevine because that was just going to be a trap at some point. Like, I'm going to go back and break that at some point, but today is not that day. It's really interesting walking through a path like this and going over and over, because I've been doing this week in and week out since summer, since spring, or anyway, since last year pretty much. And the more I engage with it, the more like I'll just be going along and have to move stuff out of the way. I don't even know what you could engage, like what you could consider this as, like just trail upkeep, but it would be a weird little simulator thing to do, to like give a person a space like this and see how they engage with it. Like, with those different point aspects I mentioned in previous videos of having like nature within arm's reach, but be able to like move and carry things. At the same time, like engaging with a lot of the space. Like, there's still big swaths of this space that I'm not working with that I could be doing better on. It's kind of rough. I worry about the brim a lot, and I should probably trim it, so that way it's not so much of an issue. But I worked on this space too. Came through and knocked down some of the bits. Again, it's really hard to relate because it's a vastly different space now with all the snow, but more and more tracks, all the animals being all the active, doing their best. There's so many. And I feel like there's some really small ones at some point where it was just the perfect little like chipmunk or mouse. Like it's with this many it'd be so hard to tell like which one you were initially following or where to go. So I guess that's an interesting strategy in like imagining when a cat has the zoomies or something, how they like do a little spin around and then zoom off in one direction, then zoom off in another direction, and then like go the way they were going. And I wonder if this is kind of the same thing where like it's built in to hinder uh, tracking. Maybe it's just fun. Maybe it's just that whole engagement with the childlike wonder and fun behavior, doing little waterfall things. Yeah. Just lose the hat. I knew that was gonna happen, so I didn't want to like get into a thought and then apologize for losing the hat. It's hard. Like that is one aspect that I missed. I think it came undone a little bit here, so you might get a little bit more of a forward-facing thing. But that is a little bit of how you engage with uh, these kinds of spaces in the winter. You're kind of stuck looking down more than out because you're trying to make sure you don't lose your footing, you don't step on something, you don't step into a puddle, get your shoe wet. Socks being wet, especially in the winter, is the worst. Highly recommend to avoid. Yeah. So, with that, remember to engage with the aspects of childlike wonder when you can. Be good to yourself, do self care, be silly, have fun, do little things that you can enjoy that bring joy. As long as they don't hurt anyone else, you're good. Have fun. Pick up sticks, break them, have a little fire. It's that time of the year where any kind of praise, any kind of like prayer and spiritual work is important because there's so many holidays, there's so many things going on. It's important to engage with your spiritual side as well as your personal needs. So it's good. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Don't take personal issues out on other people. Set boundaries. Make sure people respect them. Because that's, if they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you. and that only leads to abuse in the future and being taken advantage of. So be good, be kind, have a wonderful holiday, whichever one you celebrate, or none at all. And to that, I would be like, happy day off for if you got a day off. So I'm going to go a little bit of a different way here, trying to vary my paths and whatnot. And that gets us back to this little waterfall. It's so soothing having running water. So I'm going to enjoy my blessed Yule, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Till next time, peace. And let's see if there's anyone to raid real quick. Doot, doot, doot. I like to stay on brand, so we're gonna raid Fiesel.
Okay.
Alright. He is playing the original Warcraft, going through the campaigns, so enjoy.